So we wanted to have a look right now at what's happening in the Middle East, and we can count upwards of some 87 hits against U.S. forces serving in the region. And a lot of them come back to the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Who are they? Not a designated terrorist group, because this administration removed them back in February of 2021. Their slogan, pretty predictable: death to America, death to Israel, curse the Jews. We've heard a lot about that right now. And the Houthis control about 80% of the country of Yemen. They've been fighting a civil war there for more than 5 years at the moment. Also, the country of Yemen, located down here in the southern stretch of the Saudi Arabian Peninsula, is the poorest country in the Arab world. Well, what does that mean to the rest of the world? You've got the Suez Canal here coming to the Red Sea. You see these commercial freight liners, right? You've got a choke point down here in Yemen. You've got another choke point over here in the Strait of Hormuz that leads in the Persian Gulf, and look what country is located there. That is Iran, and as we know, Iran has significant influence throughout the entire region. They've got influence in Syria, Lebanon. We've seen it in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, and certainly they have influence down here in Yemen. So what will we do about it? So far, not much. General Jack Keane joins us. And General, good morning to you on a Monday. I think the answer is pretty clear. As of today, this administration will not take action against the Houthis in Yemen. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I mean, they've issued sanctions against them. They're likely going to continue to use escorts to protect the commercial shipping in the area. Certainly, we're taking defensive action, to protect our ships, and Israel's taking action to protect itself. But clearly, that has been inadequate. We all can see it. Your board reveals it. What has to be done is we have to go on offense, and we have to escalate. We have to take the risk to escalate, to gain some dominance, not just over the Houthis, but over Iran, who's using all of their proxies in the region to do what? To weaken Israel. That's what Hamas and Hezbollah is all about, and also eliminate it as a nation state eventually. The Houthis are part of that, and it's certainly the Iranian-backed Iraqi proxies and Syrian proxies, as well as the Houthis, want to drive the United States military presence out of the region. We have to recognize that Iran is calling the shots here, and we have to escalate also to give them the warning that we're not going to tolerate that and take some military action against something that they value. Reagan figured that out. He achieved escalation dominance. Trump figured that out. And now this administration has got to find the spine to do the very thing. Why don't they do it, Bill? They don't do it. They don't do it because they think if they do escalate and take this kind of aggressive military action, that it could lead to war with Iran. But the 43 years of history in dealing with Iran suggests that's not the case. Why? Because that's why they developed the proxies. They've had these proxies for all of those years to provide distance from the United States. They don't want war with the United States. Why? They lose their regime. That's why they want a nuclear weapon, to preserve the regime. They're not going to put that at risk. We should step up and be more aggressive.
General, I wanted to also ask you about the hostages. Of course, we keep them top of mind. So Hamas was put under a ton of military pressure by the Israeli Defense Forces, and then they said they needed a break. We had the temporary ceasefire. We had some hostages released. Well, now Hamas is saying that all remaining hostages will be killed if more aid and prisoner exchanges are not met. So if you're Israel, or even President Biden, do you keep the military pressure on Hamas so that they come to the table to give the hostages back, or do you worry that the hostages might be killed?
Well, the hostages clearly are the regime leaders of Hamas's lifeline. They're threatening to kill them, but if they did that, certainly their regime will be absolutely destroyed, which is the military objective here. What do they really want? The pressure on Hamas is very real. There's pressure in the north as they're cleaning up northern Gaza, and also in Han Yunis, systematically, building by building, street by street, taking Hamas down. Many of them are surrendering. They know that some of their ranks are breaking. So what do they really want here? They haven't said it, but they're implying that they want a ceasefire. If they have a hostage exchange, they're going to a ceasefire. They want to stop the bloodshed that they're suffering as a result of it. The Israelis have claimed they've killed about 6,000 or 7,000 of them, or captured, most of them killed, some captured. And that is going to continue. So that's the pressure point here. They want a ceasefire to stop the military success that Israel is having against them.
Yeah, and you know in Jewish tradition how much they covet the human body. And apparently there are 20 hostages who are confirmed dead in Gaza, but their bodies are still there. And in all likelihood, General, you could have Hamas start to negotiate for the corpses of these hostages in order to exact something out of the Israeli government.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We said that one of the characteristics of Hamas's campaign that was very different, one was the focus on killing civilians in the initial attack on October the 7th, and the second one was taking wholesale hostages, something they have never done before. And we knew that the hostages would play prominent here in the military action going forth, and Hamas's leverage to use those hostages to benefit themselves. And we see that at play right here.
General Jack Keane, thank you for being with us on a Monday to kick
sir.
us off. We appreciate it.